So let's talk about something else other than the election. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions, and today some companies announced earnings, and like we've seen for the past 3 to 4 weeks, companies that, especially tech companies that have been reporting earnings, have seen and experienced a significant drop. None of these stocks are in any way any stock suggestion. I know that you guys really do like, and please drop a thumbs up if you want to continue to see these videos, is when I talk about solid companies that reported either poor earnings or there's poor news that came out about them, and they see a significant drop, which presents a potential good deal opportunity. I'm going to be talking about two of them. I'm going to be, just talking about two of them. So the first one that I want to talk about is BABA. There's a very big investor that, if I'm not mistaken, invested in them as of yesterday. I think her name is Cassie, and I'm going to look into the news very quickly, and it looks like I'm not going to be able to find her name, but we experienced a pretty significant drop based off of recent patterns. Alibaba, again, there's three things that I personally like to focus on. If it meets your criteria, great. If it doesn't, there's nothing wrong with not seeing eye to eye with what it is that we personally want to invest in or trade. But when it comes down to BABA, one of the things that I find very attractive, of course, Alibaba, multi-billion-dollar corporation, almost the China version of Amazon. And we have seen a very consistent ascending uptrend pattern. It's aggressively oversold based off of previous highs, 180-day highs, and it has a common pattern of making higher highs. So the first thing that I like about it is that it's an ascending uptrend pattern. It's making higher highs and higher lows. And like we know, it is much easier to grow your money when you put your money in something that's increasing in value, especially for more beginner investors and traders, right? This isn't something that is going to move significantly, but it's something that's consistent, and a lot of people like that reliability. The second thing that I like about it is that it's a good deal. It's aggressively oversold. It's now below the SMA line, so kind of watch out for that. There could be a break-of pattern here. Just because it's bounced at or near the SMA line before doesn't mean that it has to, especially with all the craziness going on with the election. But because it's so oversold, I would set my alerts, and if we get proper indication of a reversal, then this is when we can pay attention to it. And the thing that I like about it is the consistent ascending uptrend pattern. I like the direction, but I like how consistent it is and how easy it is based off of previous 180 days to be able to identify the high points, the low points, the high points, the low points, and of course, the high points. It's not a perfect and pretty picture like you see on Google, but when it comes down to a quality company, multi-billion-dollar corporation that has been ascending, and because of earnings, it acted as a negative catalyst, we saw a pretty solid drop. Now, the next one that I want to talk about, again, this is ticker symbol BABA. So if you want to add it to your watch list, it's up to you. I just wanted to do my part in talking about it. And yes, it did beat earnings, but yet we still saw a pretty significant drop, as we've seen for many other tech-based companies. When it comes down, Alibaba is not necessarily tech focused, but you guys get what it is that I mean. When it comes down to, I actually have it. I just bought into it. PTON. We've been talking about this for the past couple of days. We saw a significant push up. And what did I say yesterday? PTON was one of the stocks, if I'm not mistaken, 2 days ago that I talked about, that it finally broke above the EMA line. We were at the SMA line. Again, very consistent ascending uptrend pattern. It's been making higher highs and higher lows. It meets my criteria. There's a significant pullback, so I could buy it for a good deal and sell it for a profit. And today, I actually want to go on the 1 day, 1 minute chart. We saw an aggressive pullback, and this is because of earnings. And if you look at the earnings, they actually beat expectation, where I believe it was like a little bit shy of $1 billion, and they exceeded $1 billion. So again, we saw a significant drop. Well, not significant, but a good enough drop that it makes sense on how we can buy the dip, actually trade the reversal. This is not something that I necessarily plan to hold for a very long period of time. This is more of a aftermarket day trade, if that makes sense. I can trade during the aftermarket trading session. If you have TD Ameritrade, most likely you can as well. If you use platforms that are more minimalistic like Robinhood, I think they limit you with the time of how long it is you can trade during these extended hour sessions, as they're viewed as higher risk because there's less volume. So it's definitely not for everyone. I just wanted to do my part in following up with the stock that we've been talking about, as well as where I decided to buy. So I'm all open to sharing that with you. I bought at an average purchase price of 120 flat, so I got filled at my price point, and I ended up buying 100 shares. So it's not so much that I feel uncomfortable if it begins to drop. I can easily cut losses. There's no break-up pattern. It built the previous support level at right around 118 during the normal trading hour session, and when it pulled back, back, it looks like it's holding right above 118 as well. So as of right now, we're seeing a solid support level there. We will see if it begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. I'll probably add, another 100 to 200 shares, nothing too aggressive. And why? Why is it that I'm trading this? Well, because it acted as a negative catalyst. And if we do see signs of, again, we're seeing signs of a potential support. And if it does end up reversing to previous, highs based off of what we experienced today, based off of the close, that's about a 5% margin from where it is that I bought at. And based off of the overall highs of where it hit of 130, that's a little bit over 8%. So now you see why it is that I see the upside to outweigh the downside based off of current conditions. One of the things that I do want to let you guys know is, at least on the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, you cannot set a stop loss or a stop limit during extended hours. So this is something that you're not going to want to leave just running in the back and going on with your day, especially if we begin to see this thing going south. You need to make sure that you do your part in holding yourself accountable and managing your risk. I also wanted to talk about some of my updates on my swing position. So Tesla, again, I want to explain to you why I sold part of my Tesla position. So I only have 60 shares. And if you're part of our Learn Plan Profit group during the live trading session, you would have seen that at the peak of it, I believe I had 120 to 130 shares today. I bought about 50 more than what I had yesterday because we saw a significant drop. I was able to sell the highs. I bought the dip again, and then I plan to sell the highs. But as I locked in profits, why would I have locked in profits? Well, on the 180-day chart right now, it just looks a little bit more on the overbought side. And as we're getting closer to receiving, the final decision on, what is going on with the election, just so much nonsense going back and forth, I just know that there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. And because of that, it's not that I don't think the market's going to go up. I mean, I have an open position for a reason, but I want enough skin in the game, again, that I feel comfortable, but not so much that if we see a significant drop and it's something that we did not anticipate, that I'm like, dang it, I went in too heavy, I feel uncomfortable now and stuff like that. So I just, again, wanted to find that nice balance, which is something that we've been encouraging for the past couple of weeks as we've been experiencing so much inconsistency. The other one that I want to talk about, again, I reduced my position size on Apple. I'm just sharing this with you. It doesn't mean that you should as well. 100 shares. I had at the peak about 250 shares. So I've locked in a majority of my profit. I'm going to leave it at 100 shares. I do think it's overbought based off of recent patterns. And another thing that you guys can look at is on /NQ, which is the NASDAQ future, which is really big focus on tech. We're at previous resistance levels. Again, if any news gets released that acts as a positive catalyst, we can easily blow past 180-day highs. But I just wanted to do my part in keeping my position size appropriate to what I'm comfortable with. And then the last one that I want to talk about is, of course, my day trades on TQs. It was a bullish day for TQs. It pushed up 7%. It shows 7%, but let's be honest, from when the market opened to where we're at right now, it's a very similar day to yesterday. I don't hold these overnight. I simply day trade them. It was a super choppy day, super inconsistent. I just know that it was still in favor of the overall market. The market was bullish. I was paying attention to TQs. We saw an aggressive sell-off, bought the dip, sold the highs, bought the dip, sold the highs, bought the dip, and of course, sold the highs. So nothing crazy going on for the past 2 days, but again, patience is a virtue, and I'm very excited to follow up with how the market ends up playing out. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please comment them down below. I do want to remind you, you guys have been asking a lot of questions about the different flags that we've been sharing on our Instagram account, and all you guys have to do is wait until tomorrow. We have 7 new flags that are dropping. They're only $19 shipped, and it's going to be a way that you can wake up every single morning and feel a little motivated. So if you guys want to stay connected and join our free Facebook group, that's going to be that first link down below. We have nearly 293,000 members. And if you've ever wanted to connect with like-minded individuals, again, it's absolutely for free. And that's that first link down below. If you guys want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, all you have to do is click the second link down below, learn a little bit more about the Learn Plan Profit Group. Feel free to scroll on down. And if you want to get a taste of what it's like to watch me trade live, watch this video. And if you're ready to join our team, click enroll, and we'll see you tomorrow at Market Open. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy, team.